Well, we are ready to go. The stage is set. 8 players are ready, and there's only one winner. We'll find out who it is. Golden Boy and Walshy, it's over to you.
Thank you so much, Lottie. Thank you, Wes, for that as well. Great breakdown. We'll get ready for this one and jump into the action. We haven't had a chance to go over the series layout there. I was seeing a little bit. I saw Fortress as well as Streets. So we're going to be kicking things off with CTF on Fortress. And we got Slayer on Streets, King of the Hill on Livefire, and if necessary, we'll have some Recharge Strongholds and Origin Slayer on the docket. Now, I will be remiss if I didn't, act like I knew what these series layouts, or the history rather, for these players are. So for me, I'm kind of just going into this one a little bit cold, but I'm curious. I'm really curious to see what this FaZe team can muster up here, but also whether or not Nemesis are the real effing deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, Nemesis are the real deal. I mean, they've already proven it by anyone that can take down the #1 team.
Sure,
at that point, you can never overlook them throughout the rest of the season. Now, have they been able to show those consistent results against every other squad? No, they haven't yet. But here is their chance. They've been practicing for this event. As you said, got that week-long boot camp prior to this. I expect this to be a great series. I don't foresee this being a quick 3-0. And if it is a quick 3-0 from one of these squads, I expect that squad to do some real damage this tournament.
This is the type of game you get the boys and the girls together, you hop into Discord and you have a chat and you watch it because you don't want to miss it. And here we go. It's now time. Team Nemesis versus FaZe Clan. We're starting things off with the KBM God. It's WuTum. And let's see if we can peel some faces with that mouse.
Look at that, just trying to fight Lucid. Lucid trying to take up so much ground with that OS. And this first snipe does go down for Nemesis. This is huge for FaZe. They have control of the BR side. They took down the sniper of Nemesis. They're in prime position to get another kill and run that flag.
They have not had an opportunity to quite yet. TriPPPeY does manage to pick up that sniper from earlier on, so we'll see what he could do with it here. Of course, big game energy without a doubt. Nice shot there. TriPPPeY gets the dub. Looking for another one on the steps, but that ain't coming. There you go. That's going to be 3. Not a triple, but you take the 3 kills out of that one, and now you're hoping for FaZe Clan to start to encroach onto this flag and make this pull happen.
Yeah, TriPPPeY's done his part. He's like, someone else grab that flag because the kills have been secured, and there's his teammate, Lucid, grabbing that flag and running that over towards tower.
And he's staying in the back of the base as well. Perfect. Perfect spot, perfect positioning.
Perfect as long as he's doing the damage he needs to.
Yeah.
Just getting a pick or so here will be enough.
Oh, wait a minute, getting challenged on the left side, and TriPPPeY was not prepared for that at all. Well played there to try and remove him from the equation.
Great play by Nemesis, somehow just slipping out through their tower side, going all the way out over to the FaZe Clan base, and actually making this so it's a potential counter cap.
Yeah, and if this ends up working out for Nemesis, it could be huge for them here. They're starting to march this one across. Question is whether or not they can get this one through. You see where some of these players are going to be positioned. One behind Snipedrone there. He's looking for the targets, but he does not identify it. WuTum now in the fray. Did manage to find one. He's trying to keep and play his life here, but this could very well be a flag cap. There's no one around there to protect that flag carrier. Keep that in mind. I think we just saw him go down, so it's going to be a little bit of a heartbreaker, and there goes the overshield pickup for Lucid, a return of potential counter cap.
I like this play, just trying to be as efficient as possible, doesn't need to wait the extra seconds, going to get that flag moving, knows that flag's returning.
Brilliant.
And this one, I don't know how Nemesis is going to be able to stop. They need a sniper if they're going to be able to stop this from Lucid.
You're going to have to cover him with grenades and bullets, and it does not seem like that's going to work out, but wait a minute, he's going to be a little weak playing around that flag there. He's got someone pushing on the right side. Wait a minute.
He bought the time. It's fine, right?
Is it?
Question mark?
A question mark? I think so. They should be fine here. Yeah, Pznguin gets it. That should be the cap, but they got to get the return. And there you have it. One on the board for FaZe Clan.
And just so perfectly played by Lucid. Look at how fast he was when he was over on the Nemesis side of the map. He didn't want to spend an extra half second to recover that flag. He wanted to get that moving. But then once he got the flag back on his side, patient as could be, made sure Nemesis members had to use grenades, all that firepower, all that attention to take him down. And eventually the kills go in FaZe's favor, and they eventually slam the flag in.
It's just a good job of identifying your win conditions in those moments. We constantly talk about how Halo is a game of micro decisions, and that I think is a really good example of it. It shows how a player like Lucid has found that success by being as heads up as he possibly can be. Now, a player we haven't really talked about all that much is Glory. We'll see what this young man can do with the snipe here, but he's going to try and just play the angles, but the flag is starting to move. Is anyone there to help out? And it's going to be Glory to overlook and help out his boy. They're going to manage to stop that flag for the time being over toward mid. And this is going to slow things down just for a moment as that return is going to come through.
They'll slowly get this recub. Now, I think what we're looking here for from Nemesis is they've said, Lucid got the last 2 overshields. They got 1 flag cap out of it. Can we finally get one of our own?
Yeah, you know, I like that. I'd really like that, guys. You know, that's probably what Snipedrone is telling his boys right now. But they got to get in there and make that a reality. Overshield's coming up in just a second here. Glory has not been able to find the shots, but what he has done is his presence here has given FaZe Clan some pause. They can't move willy-nilly because they know they're going to be running into the cannon that is the S7 there. But here comes WuTum. He's the one who ends up getting the overshield. Beautiful slide there to try and open things up. Now he's going to just move as fast as he can. And Nemesis could very well be looking at #1. And they are. We got a tied game.
Well played by WuTum. Grabbing that OS, just moving in perfectly. He even had a snipe there. So somehow he must have secured the FaZe sniper while running that OS, just doing absolutely everything he can for the squad.
Nemesis not going out without a fight. And WuTum is leading the charge here. Currently outslaying all of FaZe Clan, and only one SnakeBite, who we were talking about him earlier and how he was just a slaying machine. And it seems like that trend still continues here. WuTum is going to get the better of Pznguin in this exchange, and as you can tell, right, things they've slowed down considerably. Now FaZe are just going to look for that opening now that WuTum's out of the picture here.
Yeah, FaZe trying to take over this BR side. They eventually get it. Now this is going to be tough. WuTum and crew are going to be spawning near that elbow. Not the spot that they want to be. They just have these low spawns, and last time we saw them spawn in this position, they just pushed through. Looks like WuTum's going to go back to his flag defend. He knows there's just 1 member left.
Woo.
Loses the 1v1 against Lucid. Lucid trying to buy time, but this flag is moving for Nemesis.
And he's got to try and stop it, and he does not. Glory and SLG work in tandem to be able to remove him from that fight. And as the bodies of FaZe start to drop, SLG brings that flag right underneath the base. Could be looking for #2 here. SnakeBite does manage to get that kill. Does SLG have the opening? He does, and it's 2-1. Nemesis 1 flag away from taking map 1.
Lucid seems like he's spawning over here with how frequently he's over at the Nemesis BR. Just every single time, just blocking these spawns and being such a presence over at the Nemesis base.
Maybe he wants a pillow, Dave.
You know,
Maybe he wants a Nem pillow. Just saying, they're really nice. Go get your Nem pillows before they're gone. Now SnakeBite, though, he's going to be hanging out under that base here. Looking to see if there's going to be any members of Team Nemesis that he can delete. He manages to find one. That's going to be SLG. He works with Lucid here. The duo coming from SSG now trying to work together to be able to tie this one up. As SnakeBite now, he's going to hit a little bit of that wall, which is going to slow things down. But the good news for PJ is that he's got the pathway, and that's #2. Next flag wins.
Let's see, half these flags have been capped, all thanks to an overshield. So I would expect this 4-minute overshield to be a pretty big defining factor here, GB.
Oh, yeah. This has been the story of the map, but this is what Halo's about. Controlling those power items has so much influence over how the game is played out. Removing that sniper on the backside of Nemesis. One thing that I thought was actually quite fascinating here, David, correct me if I'm wrong, gorgeous shot from SnakeBite. Gorgeous shot, that's a double. He's looking for a third, does not get it. But something that I find quite interesting is that you're seeing FaZe always in that Nemesis base. You don't really see the other side. Whenever Nemesis is in the base, they're grabbing the flag and they're getting the hell out of there.
Yeah, they don't seem to be spending as much time blocking VR and doing an elongated setup. Instead, they just seem to scrap up a couple of kills in the middle, grab that flag and get out.
Which I can respect. I actually quite like that for them because it works for them, right? They've been able to keep this one close, tied up now 2-2. Next flag cap is going to win, but you mentioned it, Dave, that 4-minute overshield. It's coming up in just 18 seconds. Could very well determine the game, and both teams know this. They've seen the influence of the overshield throughout the course of this game, so you know that emphasis is going to be placed on it. Currently, Team Nemesis has presence inside of that OS room, so if they are able to get it, I would probably see FaZe just trying to pepper them with as many grenades as possible.
Yeah, Nemesis favored to get it. Looks like Glory does get the OS, and does he go for the kills or an instant grab? Instead, looking like he's going for kills first. 1 drop on each side. That's Pznguin and WuTum falling for each side. Glory gonna trade that out with the melee, and the OS overshield essentially ineffective.
Yeah, pretty much. And that was the thing that we wanted to see from FaZe. They kind of realized that they were going to have to concede that middle area, concede that overshield. So what do? They go back to their base, they receive, and where that overshield player is going to come, nade, melee, remove that from the equation, and you're right back to the drawing board.
One thing I will say is that one of the captures we saw from Nemesis was not relying on an overshield.
That's true. That is
we
true.
did see both overshields being required for the FaZe flag capture.
That is true.
So let's see if there's something that could transpire over this next minute and 10 seconds. Who knows if Nemesis are just gonna, instead of posting up in the center, prep for that next overshield, maybe put some pressure over on FaZe and see if they can grab a flag.
But I'm really liking what I'm seeing here from FaZe, though, Walsh. Like, they are unrelenting in their presence in mid. Pznguin doing the Lord's work out here, holding it down as he's going to continue his path of terror. He also has Lucid there to help him out. Never mind, WuTum is going to hit him with a clothesline from hell. That's going to be a double kill for him. And he's now looking to see if he can find some more targets here. Oh,
yeah,
my!
Man, these snipes can absolutely secure it. Look at this fearlessness. So aggressive, pushing on over to the FaZe base. And this is the perfect spot you want to be. Like I said, you're blocking the spawns from this BR or Armory side. Spawn them at bottom tower or elbow. And it's such a tough position to push out of. But luckily, Snipedrone got picked off before he got that flag into the center.
Yeah, had he been able to clear that, maybe
this could also be a throw here. This could actually be real bad for Nemesis. They gave up the sniper, they gave up some deaths in this flag, and overshield coming up.
Good call. We'll see how this works out. FaZe has been really effective with that overshield, and Lucid stays alive, takes out Snipedrone. Beautiful shot. Looking for another one here. He's going to be dancing around the middle. Wait a minute, though. SLG just swooped on in, grabbed the overshield. We got a minute 50 left on the clock here. SLG trying to march his way forward toward that FaZe clan shield. That's going to be a double kill for the Frenchman. Looking for another one here. He's going to bring this one across. He's got the support. Is he going to be able to clear the 50-yard line? He does so, but is it going to be enough as his teammates are there backing him up? A couple big kills coming in. 3 down for FaZe clan, and Nemesis are going to lock in map number 1.
Overshield being so key in getting those flags. I want to say it was 4 out of the 5 flag captures were all due 15 seconds after that OS is grabbed. Just someone just barreling right in, helping put pressure on the flag and running it back. And
Which
I believe
also,
it's a flag. I believe the flag runner every single time was the OS player.
Yeah, which also goes to show you too, because I think that this map, right, because of how tight it is and how small the map is, it does kind of allow that overshield player to have such a profound impact in those moments, because as soon as he got that overshield, my guy was out there shooting 1, 2, boom, double kill. He was already in the fray, right?
Well, I think it all of a sudden unlocks this new route that you generally don't have access to.
Yeah.
Going through the courtyard. There's a lot of times just walk through the courtyard or sprint through the courtyard is a death sentence. As soon as you have overshield, all of a sudden you can fight one-on-one anywhere. Doesn't matter if the person gets first shot or 2 on you and their top tower. You can afford to lose that damage and still be in a good spot that you can fight a brand new 1v1 if you need to. Whereas many other times when someone tries to cross the courtyard, you get a couple shots in you, someone goes around the spiral stairs and finishes you off.
Oh, it's just a great play across the board from Team Nemesis. But look at this scoreboard. WuTum.
Okay, WuTum.
With a hot 27. Meanwhile, SnakeBite with 24, continuing his dominance from that last series that we saw SnakeBite in previously. So there is a kind of a consistent narrative being spun here by the former captain. We'll see, of course, how this plays out as we get ready for map 2. But I do gotta say, did not expect to see Nemesis get that first map the way that they did, coming down to the wire, showing that when they need to dig deep and have that grit, they got it.
They did such a good job there, and honestly, still so surprising. It felt like when you saw such a lead from FaZe early off the gates that you would expect a squad like Nemesis to maybe start to crumble a little bit.
Yeah.
That happened all the time in the past where you'd see NA teams, you know, maybe get off to a rough start against a European squad, but as soon as they got momentum, it was just kind of series over. Those days are long gone. Squads like Nemesis have redefined how EU Halo is being played here in NA.
And let's not forget too, right? SLG, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe Glory as well, and I think Snipedrone at one point, all part of that. Oh, dear Lord. Quadrant, yeah. Look at me, forgetting things. What a common thing. Yeah, you know, like they were all part of that. Like they were hitting for top 4. They were playing for.
They redefined strongholds.
Exactly. So I think that it's safe to say that when you look at the players that are on this roster, this isn't shocking, right? But it does still make you really amped up because you're like, oh man, now you know FaZe Clan back against the wall. This is where I want to see what this team is made of.
Yeah, FaZe has their work cut out, and it's going to be a quick one. Streets, that can go real fast. The team wants to pick up the pace and wants to continue to spawn cycle. We'll have to see how this one goes down, though. I mean, I don't know if you're a squad like FaZe, if you favor something like Streets, as you have a few different routes in the center of the map, or you'd rather choose something a little bit more chill, a little bit more time.
Fair.
Just a little bit more map.
Well, they don't have a choice.
Yeah,
no
choice.
choice.
No
they got to
choice.
deal with it. You know, there ain't no map bans in Halo, okay? And honestly, though, I would like to see what Lucid can do here. He was a little quiet in that last game. SnakeBite certainly was popping off, but I would like to see him, like, I feel like this is a good you know, jungle gym, if you will, playground for Lucid to take advantage, right? Grab some of these weapons that are like, you know, on the racks and really take him to task here. It's a great opportunity for Lucid to really separate himself in this series, separate himself in that first map, because I don't think that was what he would have wanted, none of the members of FaZe. And here we go, map 2.
A million grenades going over towards driveway.
As is the standard.
Just kind of dodging all of them, I guess. But clearly a set push there from Nemesis, really trying to put pressure over towards this tram side, over towards the driveway. And they actually get it. Can they break through? Somehow they do. And do they come out ahead? WuTum taking down Pznguin. Lucid trying to run for his life.
Yeah, Lucid realizing this is not a battle that they could win. He's going to go back to the comfort of his teammates here. That's always going to suck, but they'll just wait that one out for the time being. And this is a bit of a slower pace here. Pznguin is going to be in the fray. He's actually got a really good spot right above all the members of Nemesis that were down low, and he gets himself a beautiful double kill. So that was a good read on that play to really put the pressure on Nemesis and not let them run away with this in the early goings.
Yeah, and when you see them cycling around kind of the map, sometimes you can just take that little shortcut, go
Yeah.
right through the courtyard, go right through the center of the map, which sometimes feels unintuitive because you feel more exposed, but when teams are kind of cycling around like that, you have to take a faster route to group up with your squad.
Yeah, and you know Pznguin in that moment was getting comms like, they drop, go for it, right?
Yeah, he couldn't just like charge behind over towards Commando and jump up or go through driveway and just maybe hit a random one-on-one. Instead, it's like he can join up with his teammates towards Neon or stairs if he cuts across B stairs.
And plays like that give FaZe a 2-kill lead, the exact amount that Pznguin was able to pick up earlier. So big play for him out of that one, and nice protection there. Lucid looking out for his boy as he manages to pick out Glory. SnakeBite was pretty much dead to rights in that exchange. So now we'll continue to play this one out.
They just have to have so much info here. You saw when SnakeBite realized his teammate was all the way over at Red Room, he just knows that, all right, tram side's covered for me. They gotta be over at Neons and Bulldog. And this could be all three of them stuck over there. What are Nemesis gonna do to break out of this? Because this could be drastic. This could be devastating.
Yeah, well,
because they
Pznguin
just get pinned over at Cafe.
I was going to say Pznguin was trying to open things up here, but that ends up getting them that camo, and now they have even more control of the map.
Yeah, we just saw that one kind of collapse in real time. As soon as you lost Glory over at Tram, all those members of FaZe, they had the rest of the map under control. And it's just a matter of time before they got those kills cleaned up over at Bulldog and Cafe.
Remember, map control is the name of the game, and when you see players grouped up like that, it's always going to spell disaster if they don't react fast enough. And that has actually led to a massive 9-kill swing for FaZe, as they're going to look to try and add on, create a little bit more distance for themselves. And we had talked about as well seeing Lucid also show up in the early goings of this game. We're definitely getting that from him, as it feels like Team Nemesis kind of losing a little bit of that charm that gave them that map 1 win.
Yeah, and it feels like maybe they just don't have the same sort of set strats or plans of how they're securing these kills. Like, it did feel like they grouped up to have this different aggressive push over towards tower that didn't pan out. And in a couple of these other charges, it feels like they're kind of falling into like FaZe traps. FaZe are saying, hey, I'm going to stay in this powerful position right here, and if someone comes around the corner, I'll put in the damage and get the kill.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. SnakeBite was not prepared for that. He thought he had coverage over toward that PD side, and instead ends up getting hit with a back whack. That being said, though, it does actually open up the floodgates here for Team Nemesis, but WuTum cannot stand tall in that fight, as TriPPPeY will manage to stay alive here, hold down PD for the time being, and see if he can get behind these players on FaZe as his teammates spawn up over toward Tram and cause some more problems for those guys. But watch out, there's a person behind TriPPPeY. He was not aware of it.
Yeah,
Good help.
Uncertain of that player that had the flank, but that's going to be kills traded out back and forth. But in a case like this, if a team has a large lead, they're happy to trade out kills. FaZe are saying, yes, let's get this over to like the 40 kill mark, and we'll be happy to go in there with a 7 or 8 kill lead.
It does feel like, Dave, to your point earlier about how it feels like Nemesis really unsure. God, that was awesome. Really unsure of how to approach this. And you're kind of seeing whenever a Nemesis member is in a fight, they're by themselves. Alternatively, when a FaZe Clan member is in a fight, take you back to that SnakeBite Lucid one on PD, they always have each other's back. So I want to see Nemesis really try and focus on that team play a bit more.
Well, we did get a few picks here.
There you go.
This is Nemesis' moment. They have a numbers advantage. Now they're going to charge across the map and see if they can catch them off their spawns. One thing that's been kind of consistent here for Nemesis is being aggressive. In the past pushes, it just hasn't panned out. It feels like they were just trying to force action.
Yeah.
Here's a time that's more okay to force action because you have a numbers advantage.
I was gonna say, man, shocking how even in those situations, you had 2 members of FaZe pinned in the back of Red Room, they still managed to find those kills and hold on to their lead here. But watch out, Nemesis right on the prowl, only a few kills behind. One clean round of slays could potentially get Nemesis back into it. But FaZe Clan look like they're rocking and roaring currently. They might very well try and capitalize off of this. And what we were talking about before, the trades, it's always going to be good for FaZe in this instance. So they're fine forcing Nemesis in these really awkward spots and not giving them that comfort to be able to take these fights on their own terms.
Just needs to be, yeah, like I said, a bit more focused or kind of like
Yeah.
a plan to some of these pushes. Like some of these,
Look, I mean,
Nemesis
right now
are good enough that they can push and get kills, but against a squad like FaZe, you just can't do that over and over. But somehow they've closed this gap to just now 5 kills. Same time though, FaZe at 42 and Streets. If there's any map that you can really trade out, get some close quarter combat, it is the Streets.
Yeah, but the thing, that triple kill actually might have been the game changer here. Oh my word, he's trying to find another.
So much damage.
Yeah, a lot of damage being done here. So this is an opportunity for Nemesis to clean it up. Only 3 kills separating these 2 teams here. SLG's got the camo. He was the hero in that last game with the overshield. Can he get his team back into this one and time things up? Maybe that kill could be exactly what the doctor ordered.
That was a huge pick. And now these players have
knows
no
where they
idea.
are.
They do not expect this. They are just only watching towards Cafe side. Somehow get sniffed out.
SnakeBite had 20/20 vision, but he still gets picked off. I gotta ask that dude about his eyesight. My goodness. Was I able to see him out of that one? But wait a minute. Still 3 kills. TriPPPeY trying to get away, and he does. He manages to hold on to his life here for the time being. And this is where you're starting to see the pressure really begin to unfold, Dave.
Remember in the center of the game, this last Cafe push and Bulldog push really hurt Nemesis. Hopefully this one does not play out the exact same way. That's gonna be 2 going down here from Nemesis.
Snipedrone's gonna be by himself over yonder, which will not be alive long enough. That's gonna give FaZe 49. Can they get the 50th, tie this one up after losing on that Fortress CTF? He has found the target. It's gonna be SLG, oh, sorry, it's Glory, but even then, it's enough. And that is gonna tie things up. 1-1 this series. Well done from FaZe as well. They looked stellar in that one. They certainly did everything that they needed to do to put Nemesis in spots where they simply could not fight out of it. And that is a testament to just how well put together this team is.
Yeah, FaZe were looking really good there, I think, from Nemesis. Yeah, like similar to what Wes was saying before, it's kind of like some high highs and low lows from that game alone. There were times where they got a clutch triple kill or they'd get a few picks onto members of FaZe and then get a spawn trap rolling and start to close that gap. And then other times it just felt like they would just throw away a few kills. It kind of felt like trying to force an action just because they weren't sure what else they wanted to do. They're saying, hey, maybe we send 2 people over towards Cafe and see what happens.
Yeah, and there were
sometimes it works out when you're that good at the game, but against a squad like FaZe, just felt like they had a few more traps set up.
There were a lot of moments where you were seeing a member of Nemesis just be isolated, you know, just by themselves, whether it was through their own volition or forced by FaZe in that spot. And I think back to like Snipedrone over toward the tower side on PD, right? Where, you know, he's surrounded by 3 players, the rest of his team had died, there was nowhere for him to go, and that just kept happening over and over again. And FaZe was perfectly fine, being like, yeah, cool, go ahead, give me a kill, I'll take a kill, you give me a kill, I'll take a kill. Oh, by the way, the scoreboard, we're winning. So I think like that is exactly why FaZe is just so freaking dangerous. This was a Awesome play there, of course. Shoot the nades, blow them up. Classic Halo. Crazy to think, though, that triple kill could have been enough for Team Nemesis.
Yeah, they had a chance there at that
right
moment.
Here.
And especially with all that added damage there from WuTum. We got the extra shots of the player up out of A, got the melee over at Cafe. There's a chance that those both get cleaned up and they start their spawn trap. Didn't play out that way. FaZe ended up closing it out 50-44, so kudos to them. But we got a series on our hand. This is the closest series of the day.
Yeah, look at this. 3-2, 50-44. All right, King of the Hill. Look, I'm expecting 5-4. Just give it to me. Make it close. You know, I'm okay. I do feel like that was a win that, had FaZe lost that, I would have been not just very concerned, obviously, because they're down 2-0, but it would have been shocking to have seen FaZe down 2-0 like that, which is why, like, when they were able to pull off that win in the end, it's like just the way that they have been able to, the three former Optic members, that core, right, have so much chemistry with one another. And then you throw SnakeBite in there with his excellent calling, his excellent slaying. There is a lot of weapons on this team. And as we saw in that Slayer, it played out exactly as they wanted it. They put a Nemesis in spots that were really difficult for them to fight out of, isolated a lot of 1v1s. It's exactly what they would have wanted. And that is going to benefit them for that 1-1.
Yeah, take a look at this King of the Hill matchup. Third and fourth best here as we're looking at 5-2 versus a 4-2.
Might as well just put the numbers the same across the board. You know?
So this one looks like a coin flip to me based on their records, but we'll have to see. I mean, I felt like my biggest critique of Nemesis in that last game is they didn't know where to be or what to do during certain moments in the game.
Yeah.
There's no question
like
here at King of the Hill.
Yeah.
King of the Hill, guess where you gotta be? Over near the hill.
Really?
You gotta be near the hill. You're gonna kill near the hill. Sure, you could sometimes try to get a little risky like you saw from FaZe earlier today as they tried to milk a little too much time out of that last hill and trap with the spawns where they eventually lost that Needler Hill. However, I don't foresee something like that happening. Whole point being is it's going to be concentrated focus here from the Nemesis squad. There's going to be no question as to where the battling should be on the map. Yeah. It's just going to be how do they get done.
Eyes are going to be, of course, on players like TriPPPeY here. We were talking earlier with Clutch as well as Lottie, and he's been having a hell of a year. And I expect that he'll continue to add on to that. And to also go back to that last map, too, in comparison to what we saw in that Slayer game, you started to see the rest of FaZe kind of stabilize a little bit and really just find the numbers where they needed them. There was no one player that was popping off, that was a superstar, like making the plays happen like SnakeBite was in map 1 or WuTum was in map 1. So I think if FaZe can spread out that responsibility effectively like they did in the Slayer, and do that same thing in the King of the Hill, which this game mode very much lends itself to. Good positioning, good control. Could end up seeing FaZe pick this one up, but I think Nemesis might be a little pissed about losing that one.
Yeah, Nemesis not too thrilled. I mean, it's not like they ever fully had the game and just didn't get the closeout, but it did feel like they just kind of forced so much action and didn't really have the same sort of game plan. Sure, they would have loved to get a 2-0 lead there. Yeah. Sure, they would love to be just rolling this game 3 with that massive advantage, but they know they're playing against these top NA squads. They're just going to be back and forth. No, you know, long ago are the days where a team would lose one game and their mental would just be shook and the series is over. That was a true thing that happened back in the day, though. Like, there'd be teams where they'd lose a game and it's like, oh, they just lost 3 in a row after that. They lost the final 2 after that.
Yeah, it's the mental resiliency of a lot of these players now really is something else. And the game has advanced so far over the course of HCS and Halo Infinite's lifespan, where you're just starting to see these guys just do wild stuff. It's been so fun to watch. Great event so far. And we're getting ready. You saw the thumbs up from our admins to the rest of the teams here, so I think we might be jumping into the action. Yes, we are tied up 1-1 in this series. Can FaZe Clan add a second? They know that they were in a really good spot to be able to win map 1, but then Nemesis, well, they were also in a great spot to do that too, and they did just that. Can they win on the objective again?
Possibly, but also I'm just thinking about that thumbs up back and forth. What if it's a misunderstanding? What if it's good vibes from the NA FaZe side, and the other side, they're doing a Shakespearean, I bite my thumb at you.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Also, Shakespeare mentioned on a Halo broadcast. Always a first for everything. Hey, but you know what, though? This is a great start again here for Nemesis. They managed to get 3 members of FaZe down. Glory's got himself a snipe, too, but they do not have hill control. But they do have the position. Let's see what Glory can find here. Makes the call, one player's there, but he doesn't have any help. So he'll have to play this one out slowly and just kind of concede a little bit of this time here while his teammates come back off the spawn.
Well, hopefully his teammates are coming back with camo or something. I mean,
hey, look.
Yep. if he's wasting that much time over there and buying time for his teammates, he's got to hope that they're doing some more work over near that silo side. Luckily, not a ton of time here on the board for FaZe. These next kills are really going to decide it, though.
Yeah, that was a big win there for FaZe. As a matter of fact, 2 big wins as they take out the power item and the power weapon. Pznguin's now got himself that sniper rifle, and they're waiting for those spawns, and they know where they're going to be coming from, given where the position of their teammates are relative to where they're not on the map. So they have to be prepared to receive this. Pznguin, though, misses that shot. Just a little bit on the left side. Might have hit that wall as he was trying to strafe around it. So close to being able to lock up Green, but Glory comes in with a double kill. He's going to get his snipe back.
Got it back, but they have their work cut out. That's going to be 3 down. I like this. Scrapping up time right away. There's no reason that you just start to set for this next hill. You need to put the pressure on the FaZe, because FaZe could get one more wipe here, and all of a sudden, this hill can be anyone's.
Woo! That's the shot you wanted. 1 in the chamber, 1 kill. That's all they needed out of that one.
Look at this patience here from FaZe. It almost feels like FaZe are waiting for Lucid to spawn before they make a larger push towards the hill.
That does
They're
give
getting
me a
kills
little-
on the outskirts, though. Looks like WuTum falls, SLG falls. This is looking still not great for FaZe as all 4 go down. I don't know if they are going to be able to close out this hill. This one's going to be Nemesis getting the first hill.
They got it. Nemesis
Wow.
getting number 1. Uh-oh. Let's see if FaZe answer back. As now, look at where Nemesis is. They got the position. They got the tower side control as well. A little control, not the most. There comes a big push from TriPPPeY. He'll get himself a kill, and maybe a trade there too. So that's 2 members of Nemesis down here, opening the pathways for FaZe to try and get onto this hill, but it has been challenging, to say the least.
Yeah, let's see what Pznguin decides to do here. He's going to be trying to stop this camo. Does he get the trade? That's so effective. It's so huge. Sometimes players getting that ring around the rosy sort of mentality. Some of these players also have no fear of just charging straight at that last location and trading out that melee.
He knew exactly what he needed to do because where the position of where that player was and where his teammates were trying to get objective time on the board, that camo could have spelled disaster for FaZe Clan. So great play there. Now you're going to start to see this push coming in from Nemesis, and SnakeBite reads it so well. He's got the green gun low. That plasma
Does he know he's
pistol.
behind that post? Maybe not.
I mean, he had to have heard some movement down there, and well, he did find the mark, but it's going to make that 1 player 1 shot, but not enough to get the kill, and he does not have teammates there to help him out. So you just got to remove this guy right away. And they do so. They'll get that sniper back too.
Yeah, getting control of that snipe, trying to waste a bullet, not effective.
read.
This also, look at how little time has been secured on this hill. Both these teams just worried more about killing and securing control of the area. They are not ready just to scrap up, 20% of that hill at a risk of someone sneaking behind in the mud.
That was a really nice snipe nade there, right? Use the nade on the left side, force the movement on the right, get the kill off the body shot. Love to see it. And this is going to be Team Nemesis again with this control right back where we were when the hill first emerged. FaZe Clan waiting for the numbers to come up. You're going to see SnakeBite rounding out the left side here. He's going to try and see if he can open things up, but instead it's going to be a killing spree for SLG.
Wes said he wanted to see a big game out of SLG. Well, how about most kills in the lobby? Is that enough, Wes?
Yeah.
Is that gonna appease you finally?
Wes gave us a thumbs up, so I think it's good. The call's in, but they do need, to secure this. Ooh, actually, that nade might have taken out his teammate too. You got to be a little careful there. Waiting for that melee, and that actually ended up causing him a little bit on that one. Not much you could do in that though. That's just the name of the game. Glory, as soon as he emerged, they were ready for him.
I was like, he's playing so cautious and careful there for no reason, and somehow just gets melted out by the barely peeking out of the side of those boxes.
This really does remind me of what we just saw on that first hill when Nemesis came back from barely anything and were able to lock it up. FaZe Clan did the same thing to them, so how you like the taste of that medicine is what FaZe is telling Nemesis. As we're all knotted up 1-to-1, we're heading on over to the garage side.
All right, TriPPPeY getting some early time. Also has this camo. I'm surprised he's actually not staying in there the rest of this, but looks like he's just a little
getting a lot of
fearful since he
info.
doesn't have teammates with him just yet. And look at this, position himself
He has
just
no nades.
perfectly for this flank. And here goes TriPPPeY. One goes down, gets some damage on the second rat tunnel, and gets into 1v1 against Glories. Where are the rest of the members of FaZe? Because it felt like there was the right opportunity there, but no cleanup.
And had he had someone at that top door, the mid door there, he actually could have been able to stay alive, or at the very least been able to do enough damage to get his teammates those kills. But instead, it's going to be Nemesis with a great recovery, great read in that one, because that could have been bad.
Yeah, huge play out of Glories to shut down TriPPPeY there, and because of it, Nemesis rewarded almost 50%, make it about 60% of the hill time in this third hill.
Uh-oh. How does FaZe respond? They got to get in here. They're going right through the rat tunnel. So expect Snipedrone to be getting shot from the back in a second here. And he manages to stay alive against SnakeBite. That's also a killing spree for Snipedrone here. Got to get inside of this.
Great trade-offs here. What was that? Snipedrone and Glory, I believe. That just
That's
trading
it.
off from that window into the hill, and that just looked easy.
That,
What started off was a scary, TriPPPeY flank that didn't come out to fruition. And then Nemesis just getting control of that hill, securing that with almost no problems.
Nemesis now looking good, halfway for the team from Europe. Whether or not they can secure this win would be massive to be up in this series and put FaZe at series point. Pznguin, though, they know exactly where he is. I would imagine they know where he is. Yeah, they were ready for him. They saw that one player on the top mid, so they were able to actually put the pressure on him by that box near Nest. Now FaZe managed to get back in here, and I have a feeling FaZe can actually lock this one up with the way that they're playing this one, but they need to remove these players. And look at the sea of blue that's starting to make its way over to that hill.
Yeah, it felt like a kind of a desperate push there from Nemesis to get in that hill. They didn't have control of the top tower. It felt like they were just trying to force Lucid or someone down. But yeah, FaZe weren't too worried in that since they had top tower control. They still had map control.
Lucid should be getting attacked here from up top in a second. As a matter of fact, as I say that, that player tower was having to deal with actually one of the members of FaZe Clan, and that's going to be 2-2 locked up here. So we're all knotted up in this one. Whether or not this is going to be a Nemesis win now is going to be in question, but they are back on it.
How is Snipedrone? He's the one that's getting spotted more. He's the one that has camo. He should be the hidden one, where it feels like he can't find other players, but he's being seen by everybody.
Yeah, might as well just have a light radiating from him at that point with the way things have been going. Poor guy. But they're going to be back on this. Team Nemesis. Or actually, I stand corrected. It's going to be FaZe Clan. Won't lie, the red of FaZe and the blue, it's kind of messing me up. I'm not the smartest man.
No one ever said you were.
Thank you, buddy. That's why I appreciate you. Keep it above 50 every time. Halfway point gain now for FaZe Clan. They're looking to get this third one, this third point. What does Snipedrone look to do? Is he's got that QT, so he can get a couple of shots in there and back out. And they're going to fight out of the tower here to get this control. You can see exactly where that player is. Pznguin hanging out on the backside right near that ramp. Just like, hey, if you want to push this, I dare you, good luck. It's going to be very tough for you to be able to push through this, but they are. Managed to get a couple of kills down. But they're so close from being able to lock this one up, and there goes Nemesis inside. Thing is, though, there's a lot of time for Nemesis to come back into this. They can't make a mistake.
A lot of time, but also FaZe kind of desperate at that, just for a little bit. So we're going to have to see if it comes back to hurt him or not.
Glory's got the snipe again.
FaZe just needs a kill or two. Simple as that. FaZe gets a kill or two, they jump in the hill, they secure this third hill.
And honestly, they cannot allow this sniper to run rough shot all over them. Oh, wait a minute, though. Glory's actually going to abandon the position. He's getting shot from behind. He can't do anything about it. And FaZe Clan get that third cap. Great play, and now it just had to force the sniper player to make the move because it happened so fast.
Yeah, and jumping out with that snipe, that is going to be rough there for Nemesis, because that was already going to be a tall order to somehow defend that hill and keep it. But the fact that you kind of put yourself in a rougher position
with the power
this
weapon.
green hill.
With a power weapon. So you lose that, and then you're also in this spot where, well, I mean, hey, if you're a Nemesis, you're not too mad about the situation because we're able to recover
about losing the
off it.
sniper in that case.
Exactly.
And those are tough though, because like at some point you can see that play out in your mind. You jump out, you finish that first person coming over from cuts, you end up getting the finish, you go towards hill, you win a one-on-one, and all of a sudden you might win that third hill. But all throughout that rambling of mine, SLG's been crouching down there. It's going to bring this to a 3v3 tie.
My guy was great. He was reading a book. He got to check his horoscope. No one was there to stop him. I mean, it's just wild that he was completely unchallenged there.
I love that play. I actually really like that QT. Some people wait to use that QT later and put themselves in such a bad spot. Instead, he was going to try to flank over towards Bags, and then he could actually be in 2 relevant spots at the same time.
That was a good use of it, and he also knew, too, that those nades were going to be coming in. They wanted to put that pressure on the green side because you got to clear that up in order to march forward, and SLG read that one like a book. Does he stay alive long enough? He does. A massive, massive stick. So many happening today, Dave. That was on the Lucid. You got an almost halfway mark for Team Nemesis, but you have 2 members of FaZe trying to stay alive back at tower.
FaZe desperately trying to keep tower. They realize how important this one is. We saw this play out last time. Everyone just battling towards back to tower and tower to try to secure that before grabbing C-Plat. Kills being traded back and forth. SLG, the last one alive here for Nemesis. What can he do? That's going to be all 4 down. And an overkill from TriPPPeY when they need him the most.
Oh, baby. Exactly what FaZe needed. Now they need to play off of this. And they're doing just that. On that hill, they're about to pass where Nemesis is on the bar, so that means that as of right now, FaZe have a little bit of a lead here. How does Nemesis look to respond? They need to win this one. What a great opportunity it could be. They came back into this with FaZe being up 3-2 to tie it up.
Couple players dropping there, though. It felt like kind of a free kill getting that first one in the rat tunnel. Pznguin also dropping, Lucid also down. This is going to be WuTum and crew jumping right back in this hill. And they don't have a ton of room here. FaZe, they have to go challenge this hill, and they have to challenge it now.
This feels like me playing Halo 2. He's got the noob combo. He's doing the business. SnakeBite's in the hill. Does he get the 30? Does that explosion? Oh, man, the remote detonation. You love to see it. But now, does he win this one out for his team? He's got a member there right in the backside trying to protect him. The green gun doesn't connect, but hey, he'll be fine. The bandit's going to do the job. And it seems like the captain's trying to get the team back over to victory. One more kill here, potentially is WuTum, looking to be the hero for Nemesis. And he does manage to get the kill, but it's Lucid in the hill, and it's Lucid who gets the win.
Just the bait and switches, the trades back and forth there for FaZe just to barely eke that one out.
Whoo, boy.
I mean, we're asking for good games here, GB, but we are getting the best of games. It's going to the last hill, basically tied with the last hill, 75+% on both those teams. Just kills traded back and forth. This is some great Halo.
I chose a bad day to wear a sweater. Your boy's leaking up here. What an intense game this is. Unbelievable stuff that we're seeing from both sides of the field. And look at that Snipedrone, man, putting up 23 for the L, but the consistency from FaZe Clan shining through yet again. And they'll be able to go up in this series now.
FaZe getting outslayed all across the board. Nobody on FaZe going positive that game. Mainly due to SLG and Snipedrone.
Wow. Great game from them, but ultimately doesn't really matter if you're not able to pick up that dub. Whew. Okay, well, let's get ready as we dive into map 4 here. We'll take a look at some of the highlights from that game. Great snipe shots we were seeing from Glory at the start. Really, I think, you know, we weren't talking about him coming into the series, but I definitely think we need to talk about him coming out of the series because I like everything that I saw from Glory on this live fire cop game.
Yeah, it's crazy because I would say somebody can play a near perfect game at Halo and you're like, yeah, they had probably 10 mistakes there.
Yeah.
I would say the only real mistake that I saw from Glory's POV that one time was he was trying to be a hero with that snipe, trying to help them secure that top area hill, and ended up losing snipe. Other than that, I just saw great decisions.
Yeah, sometimes you just need to let it happen. and then, especially in those positions, this is what we were talking about. Glory, you know, I can understand
the hero. I saw
to
the
do
vision.
I've
seen it. I'd have done the same thing. No joke.
And you would have died too.
Yes, absolutely. I would have died way before that, but I would have done the same thing.
Respect, respect. Oh man, what a great way to close that one out. It went down to the wire here. SnakeBite, the hero that this team needed. He gets that first kill, uses the remote detonation onto WuTum, which has to be frustrating. It means he had those nades in his pocket, so he couldn't even pick them up to prevent his opponent from using them to his advantage. And Lucid off the respawn read it like exactly how Lucid would do in those situations. And there you have it. Oh, sick. Look at that. Everyone's hyped up out there. Damn.
People love to see him.
I thought that one guy leveled
those
up.
champs perform.
So that one dude, I thought I saw blonde hair coming out of his head looking like Goku. It's crazy.
Going Saiyan mode for Lucid. There we go.
Respect it, respect it. All right, there's your series layout. If you're just joining us, a close, hotly contested series between two fantastic squads looking to make a push for that top 3, looking to make a push for that trophy. Especially if you're FaZe Clan, guys who have won world championships, majors, you name it, they've done it. Nemesis on the other side, they've been able to win regional events as well, but they're looking for those this big win. What way to do that than against FaZe Clan here in Salt Lake City?
Well, they got their work cut out for them because they got to, not reverse sweep, but they got to win games 4 and 5.
Yeah.
All these games have been so close. You know, they're saying they know they could easily have been in the situation where they're up 2-1. This could have been a 3-0 series for Nemesis.
Yep.
All of a sudden, their pool play, perfect life, is up against the wall.
Our fist bump's starting to happen. We're going to be jumping into the action here in a moment. It's going to be recharge. And this is a pressure cooker for sure. Because we were talking about FaZe Clan and how this is a team looking to fight for those trophies after, you know, the core of that Optic that did win a championship came together yet again alongside SnakeBite. It's a recipe for success, but I have been absolutely in love with everything I've seen from Nemesis in this series. It's been so fun to watch these guys just grow as a team.
Yeah, they've just done so well. You also got to give credit back there to the coach. We got Wonder Boy.
That's right, and we got Hunter JJX out there too. So good coaches as well. Guys have been in the game for a hot minute. But let's do this and see how it all shakes out. Can FaZe Clan win this out 3-1, or does Nemesis force that map 5? But if anything is, if TriPPPeY was any indicator in that last game, hey, I'm looking for him to pop off again here.
TriPPPeY trying to stop that crucial B stronghold. Not going to happen as WuTum trades that out and gets the kill.
Going
What's
down
up
now
next,
to help out. Got to help out SLG, and SLG did the work. Put a lot of players very weak, but a well-placed grenade there by SnakeBite actually keeps him alive.
Gets the
That's
second
crazy.
kill too somehow. Just an unexpected challenge
How does
right
he
there
do
from
that?
SnakeBite.
Does he have like another health bar that we don't know about? That's crazy. You have a
Or I
backpack
wonder
on
if
him?
that's not done well enough. I wonder if when people are clamoring up, if he's just going straight for that melee trade right away, realizing someone's going to just jump right in his face and get that a little quicker.
All right, FaZe Clan now with control of A and B. SnakeBite trying to force that player out of B. It's going to be WuTum, I believe, but there's Pznguin there to back him up. And now you're going to start to see potential catwalk as well as this whirlwind whirlpool push. Words are difficult, but hey, it ain't difficult for SnakeBite to get that double kill. He's looking for another one here too. Might be able to find it. It's Snipedrone. He's one shot. SnakeBite's got the read, and he's got a teammate there to back him up.
Also just find out, even though he gets picked off by SLG there, the call-out's been given. Lucid knows this is being challenged. Knows someone's coming over there from the plasmas and can just do that info whenever you'd like.
TriPPPeY with another trade there, but that's going to be good for FaZe. They'll just need to get a body there to reset. But as it stands right now, they're in a good spot, continuing to accrue some points here, crucial points.
Potential first trip cap? No, but I expect to see at least
Wait a
one
minute.
of these go. I'm surprised this has taken so long. You had 3 dead from FaZe, and they finally get the second cap here for Nemesis, so I'm not sure what took so long there, but SLG has now fallen, and a situation that I thought could have been a potential trip cap, or at least a confident double cap, has now turned against Nemesis.
And
2 people down, I'm sure FaZe is going to flip one of these.
That's why I like playing on keyboard and mouse, because in that situation, he was able to just double back so fast and play his life there. Unfortunately falls, but man, this is intense for sure. As Glory now set to one shot here. He's surrounded by members of FaZe Clan, but he's got that camo. So he can play this, right up top here on the control room, so he can get some vision without sacrificing too much, forcing those guys out of the position here, but still FaZe with A and B control like we had seen earlier on.
And that's tough when he drops in the pit and sees another teammate. There's so many times you're like, all right, I'm going to live, I'm going to do a little flank. You see someone else taking the same flank as you, and you're like, no. You kind of want only one person down here until they both revert back over to some high ground.
Damn it, teammate. They got Glory, another big win for him there as he stays alive. And And this is going to just continue to be FaZe adding on to this. It really has not been an opening for Nemesis to get in there, so credit to FaZe for really putting Nemesis back behind the ropes.
And these ones are frustrating because it's not like Nemesis are playing bad or anything. It's just like these kills are being traded and they can't get anything from it.
Yeah.
It's all right, once again, they have to try to force another push. In fact, they might have a short trip cap here. I would assume A to be flipped shortly after this. They got to be spawning elevator.
Yeah, well, you do see two
SnakeBite's
players
over there. We'll see what happens.
If he's there, that could be a problem.
Yeah, that guy in the elevator, he showed himself to be a massive problem earlier on this round, but this unorthodox trip cap, it doesn't feel like a normal trip cap, but FaZe racking up so many points right now.
Yeah, this is very dangerous now for Team Nemesis. They need to get bodies onto the stronghold as soon as they possibly can. Big win there for SLG as he takes out Lucid. SnakeBite, though, got the camo. Might very well cause a problem here for Nemesis.
Yeah, damage has been done, though. I mean, this is a massive 150-point lead here for FaZe. Nemesis essentially need to get a trip cap just to get back into this game.
And they are in a position to be able to do so, right? They got A and B control, but SnakeBite.
Busted.
Yeah, well, remember, his vision's better than everyone else, so he's good at the situation. But now, as we take a look at how things are starting to shake out here, it's going to be FaZe Clan again that's right on top of Nemesis here, not giving them that moment to breathe. They only have been able to get 35+ points. And as it stands right now, if SnakeBite and them have their way, they might not be able to cross that 100-point threshold. So they got to get in this game fast.
They need to do it quick, but lots of strongholds changing hands right now. A is going to flip. B is already flipped. C is now flipped over for FaZe. And just a little switcheroo there. FaZe coming out ahead, though.
Yeah, this is going to be a big fight over the control. Kind of shocked, though, the Snipedrone was not ready for that. Did he get the stick on him? He did not. So he does manage to stay alive. SnakeBite is alive. He's going to be a problem. That's a double kill for him. They're going to try and see if they can flip A back. There is a body on that one, and the spawns are starting to happen over toward that gold side, and they need to push out ASAP.
This is going to be an AC temporary hold, though. Right now, FaZe's goal is they would love to trade one of these two strongholds for B. It looks like they're already making the push towards B. You can sense the desperation here coming out of Nemesis. They need to make some of these stronghold flips happen, and FaZe are treating it as if Nemesis are not playing defense, and they're correct.
And an important note as well is that with TriPPPeY's play there toward the Hydro, what that did, he saw 3 members of Nemesis there. So he's making the call. Guys, they're all over here. Let's just continue to maintain control of the field and don't give them an opportunity to come back into this one. Very well played by TriPPPeY. He's been having a great series. It's going to be 2 down now.
3 down for
3 down.
Nemesis. Yeah, 3 down. Time just keeps on ticking here.
20 points left.
This one's just felt so weird. It's not like you're seeing a massive outslaying. You're seeing, what, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 kill outslay there from FaZe.
Yep.
But it feels like just pure domination. These are scores you see from massive trip caps and a massive gap on kills.
And that was also with a couple of these camos getting picked up by Nemesis as well. So the fact that they weren't able to do that with these weapons is so frustrating. I can only imagine for Nemesis. But they did get B and C flipped. So they can play around with this and work with this area. They also got that shock. So they might try and come back into this one. And what I love about this game mode is that the moment that you think you're out of it, you can get a crazy trip cap and come right back into the game.
Yeah, either way, there's a couple things that are going to happen here. If you're a FaZe fan, you're either going to see FaZe close this game out, or you're going to see perfect Halo played against you, and you're going to lose this game.
Yeah.
One of those two things are going to happen.
And both are kind of frustrating.
Either way, yeah.
Both are kind of frustrating because you want the game to be over right now. TriPPPeY, though, as he gets inside of C, he's got a couple of players here present toward that platform here. That's one for TriPPPeY. Big kill for him. He's going to give himself that shroud screen for a bit of added cover and get right back into the fray. He's got himself a teammate. That guy's going to be one shot. TriPPPeY's there for the stop, looking for another one. You only got 7 points remaining here for FaZe and the rest of the squad to be able to lock this up, but instead it's going to be 2 kills.
Flip is big, though. I believe that's Glory's flipping B. That one's the toughest one to get, so this keeps Nemesis alive.
But it is such a fragile game for Nemesis here. Only 7 points FaZe Clan needs to get, and they will lock up this series. Nemesis have to come back. It's a mountain that they have to climb here. It is possible, but damn, it's going to be difficult.
It's going to be tough. Any of these opening kills happens, and right here, Nemesis can kind of sit back on it. Looks like they're just going to go trade out that kill. That's going to be 2 down. They know one's at bottom control. What are they going to do about it? Looks like they're going to secure it.
That's it. I mean, that was the go button right there.
The kills flowed. FaZe are going to grab one of these strongholds, and now they just have to play D for 4 points.
Yeah, and also they got to make sure that that camo doesn't cause a problem, but I don't think it's going to matter. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. We got ourselves some bodies on the side, folks.
What?
Hold
There's
up.
2 down for FaZe, and here's a trip cap that Nemesis have desperately needed. They know the spawns of players are over at elevator. Do they decide to press this? We will find out, but I do think that they should, and they should have and could have pressed that play. They have to get a trip cap to win this game in my eyes.
And another thing to bear in mind too is that they allowed that camo to stay up because they figured that they were going to be able to knock this up right here now. But instead, Glory's able to get that and use it to great effect. So he gets himself a couple kills there, and that's going to maintain the control here for Nemesis, at least for a moment. And they might try to go for this trip cap again.
Yep.
Again, that's what they need to do.
It's not really going to be a trip cap, though. SnakeBite
Yeah.
aim point can help Flip C here. Just waits for his teammate to help him over at the Hydro side. So, yes, a temp trip cap, but what Nemesis need is all those players spawning over at that one stronghold. They need to challenge it and get a true trip cap and go back and forth.
This fight happening over toward the elevator side, that's what I'm looking forward to here, to see how they try and make this push through the catwalk, but also on the other side, where are the Nemesis members for the support as they go in to try and entry over toward that A site. So this is coming, guys,
This is getting a little scarier now. Yeah, starting to actually get scary. Before, we were in a spot where a trip cap was required. Now we're starting to get a spot where Nemesis just needs to hold on.
Glory's got to get in there right now, but does he have an opportunity? He could have hit the shot. He gets the win! Glory stays alive for the team, and he's going to try and keep the drive alive here. Does he get the kill? No, he doesn't. Only one player left alive, though. It's going to be SnakeBite. But they managed to get it. Oh, my word. They flipped C.
C is flipped.
This is scary.
This
We're in
is
scary
now where
territory.
FaZe are going to start panicking a little bit. You know, these last 3 to 5 minutes, they've just said, all right, just play, call out, whatever, we'll get this closed out.
They got it.
FaZe to get
They
B
got
and
it.
A, and they close out this game. But my God,
My heart
did Nemesis
palpitations.
put up a fight?
I couldn't handle that one. Oh, the pacemaker was skipping a beat. Oh, what a game that was, and FaZe Clan managed to pick up the dub. They win 3-1. What a match we just saw. Both teams laying it out there on the field. Excellent game.
I mean, didn't go to game 5, but that has got to be my series of the day.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
Undoubtedly.
That was fun. That's
What
just
a massive back and forth here from Nemesis and FaZe.
See, you know what? Here's the thing, man. I know everyone knows I talk about pro wrestling a lot, okay? But you know what? You know what's the thing, Dave, about pro wrestling?
What about
when
it?
it's good, it's so good. You want to know what else is good? Halo. It's when you get games like that, it's so good. It's like you just want to inject it into your veins, you
I
know?
guess I see a lot of gorillas, you know, kind of fake violence on both sides.
How dare you? It's real to me, damn it. All right? But look at the results on this one. TriPPPeY, big series for him. Our guest was talking about it earlier, the season that he has been having, and that is exactly the reason why. 22 kills for him out of this one, 18 deaths, but hey, that KDA 7.3 really popping off. Glory, also another one with a great series too. Don't want to take anything away from him, but we'll of course see Nemesis a little bit later on in this one. But what a game, what a game.
Yeah, I feel like that's not the last we'll be seeing of Nemesis making some waves against these top teams here this event. If they're putting up a big fight like that against FaZe, I feel like if they're playing near this level the rest of the event, they're going to be doing some damage.
And there's your final results. FaZe Clan managing to eke this one out. And it was getting scary because look, you see that 250 to 184? If you're just joining us, that was a 33 for Nemesis.
Like, yeah, 243 to like 40 or something insane like that.
It was bad. And the fact that they managed to climb out of that, it's just, there was such a hole that they had to climb out of that, and no team would have been able to do that. I mean, maybe, you know, you run it back a couple of instances, maybe 1 or 2 kills go in a different direction, but FaZe, they had only 3-4 points before they were able to scoop up that win. Great series, great series.
Yeah, so well played, and not the last we'll be seeing of either of these teams, but FaZe priming themselves to take first place in their pool. So unless they somehow have a wild card upset.
That's right.
Which I don't foresee happening. But you know what? Enough hearing from me and GB.
Yeah.
I believe we got players on the stage when they're here. Who's he talking to?
I don't know. I can't see. I'm blind.
We'll find out.